Well, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to let that be, guys. If you like this content and you think I'm wrong, let me know and I'll do a follow-up video. Other than that, I don't recommend this product. It is not good. It is not fun to use. It's a headache, and it doesn't give me that sense of comfort and security when it comes to shooting with the camera that I could just do automatically with my hands. And no matter of software or extra features built into the app can really compensate for that. And ultimately, I think it comes down to this design.
What's up, my pungos? Andy with Andy Vlogs. Excited to share with you guys this content here. It's been a while since I've done an Osmo stabilizer review from DJI because, well, I just haven't had the need. I bought the 3 a long time ago, a couple of years ago, and I've used it, and I recently found out that one of the motors or whatever drifts, and I've tried to reset it. I've tried to do, firmware updates. I've tried to adjust it within the app, and it still kind of drifts. That's just the nature of these things. They go bad after 3-4 years. Nonetheless, DJI has just released their OM5. This is the 5th in the series, and this is pretty exciting. I think they moved away from honing in the stabilization, and they're now doing a few more features that help out and make your cinematography, your photography that much better. So as you can see on the case itself, it's a selfie stick now. It's a extendable selfie stick. We'll go over that. It's also incredibly tiny. So now this thing can fit into your pocket, and it's nice to be able to throw into a bag, a fanny pack. If you're going out to the beach, if you're going out with the girls, if you're going on a road trip, this is a must-have. Just to let you know, guys, I purchased this with my own money. I was not sponsored, nor am I providing this review because someone's paid me to do so. This is a genuine, sincere review. With that said, let's break it down and see what this device can do for you and how it can help. Similar to the Osmo Pocket series, they're basically trying to provide you a software and hardware solution. They've really ramped up their software, the app that connects to be able to make awesome stories for Instagram, for TikTok. They make it so easy for you to be able to convert, edit, add music, and all that good stuff. A few of the key features here. It's got built-in extension rod. It's got their Active Now 4.0, so you can set it down, move around, and it'll follow you. It's obviously got the 3-axis stabilization, magnetic design that's carried over from the previous version, incredibly portable and foldable. And then lastly, like I said on the software end, it's got shot guides, teaches you, instructs you on how to make good content. This is the most aggressively priced of all of the products here. This is going to set you back $159.99 USD. A little more expensive. I guess the software that you're going to be using and this new extendable rod is worth 30 bucks. We'll let you guys decide that. Okay, this is what you're going to get. You're going to be getting the device itself, the clip, the tripod, baggie, charger, wrist strap. There's a little token thing you can place on the back of it to give you an extra maybe 1/16 of an inch for your smaller phones. Now, it looks like DJI has definitely gone for a very curvy, round appeal. I feel like this is going to be targeting your younger audiences, especially females. The harsh, rigid curves really doesn't make for that pretty or ergonomic of a feel. I think they've really gone for a better, more modern design with all these round curves, and I think it works well. The tripod itself still seems to be the same as all of the other ones. It does give you about twice as much length, which I really, really like. Let's go ahead and open it up for you. You simply just lift it up. Based on this hinge here, you want to make sure that it's not tucked in. You extend it out like that, and then you kind of pull it up, and then it goes into position. You can see that the angles for the 3-axis gimbal is much different than a previous version, but it makes it for a what I think is a greater, wider design that allows for, larger phones that you're looking to go either horizontal or portrait. Andy from the future here, this is actually precisely what the issue was here. Because they changed the design on the 3-axis gimbal, it has great limitations when you're actually trying to control it that you'll see later on. I really like the button layout. The grip is a little bit small. My hand is bigger. Granted, I am a taller person. But you've got, again, keeping with that same, circular, smooth feel and vibe for this. You've got really nice button placement. You've got your tilt and pan here, your little joystick, record button. You've got your orientation flipping. If you connect to the app, you've got your zoom and you've got your mode that you can change. On the side here is the charging. It looks like they've done away with having this be a portable charging device as well. I know with the other products, you could connect to your phone and it could give you that kind of a boost. I think they've done away with that. I wonder if people didn't really use that. You always want to make sure that your phone is in portrait mode when you're placing it on the phone. The angle of the grip is very, very nice. It's almost 45 degrees, but it's sure enough to be able to grab a phone with a case. I might have to take off this wrist strap here. Lastly, I wanted to show you is the extender. Oh, I forgot the trigger here on the back here. This is to hold from your panning and your tilting. I always like using this. It also helps when you're going through a couple of the settings. The extender pole itself is pretty long. I'd say that's a good foot long extension. It even has a ball joint head that gives you about a 90-degree direction in the event that you want to hold it down if you're riding on your skateboard, or if you want to have it front facing in front of your face. It looks like it's made of very, very high quality aluminum, and it extends, and at each joint you get kind of a click, so you don't necessarily have to push all the way out to a foot. You could go halfway if you wanted to get, that look that you want. All right, for your purpose here, I'm going to be recording the screen so you guys can see what's going on. Immediately, it already can detect that the new device is found. It's also trying to advertise to you. This is the DJI Mimo app. It's already showing me here that I can connect to this device, and we're going to go ahead and pair it now. So the beginning tutorial here, you can see that you can, move it around. It's showing minimal, wobbling. That's obviously to be desired. You've got full manual adjustment here. You can go over everything. There's a lot to go over here. So I'm going to change it to landscape. I can change it with my hand if I want, or I can push the button. All right, so there's quite a bit of stuff here. You can adjust all of the different settings here. Time-lapse, hyperlapse. You can do Dynazoom. You can have like a move in, zoom out for Dynazoom, dynamic zoom. You have to grab and drag whoever's doing it. Hyperlapse. It's going to show you here that you hold it and it goes with it. Slow motion, it can go up to 8x. You got your, obviously you got your video, your photo, pano. With the pano, you can kind of let it do its thing. It's actually pretty awesome. It'll go from left to right and you just hold it and it'll stitch it all together. On the side here, you can do the zoom. It gets you all the way down to both cameras, all the way to 8x, which is 1x further than the actual iPhone can do. Then you can go wide. Here's the ultra wide. Here's the wide. Here's the tele. And it's pretty seamless. I mean, you can tell that it flips from each one to not. It seems fine. You can tap the dot if you want, and it'll take you to that actual camera, which I think is probably the best thing that you're going to be doing. Now that I've gone through the tutorial here on how to use this, let's go and show you on location some extreme stuff. I'll do the extender, tripod, and we'll go from there. We're on location, guys. Here you can see that the ActiveTrack on the face is engaged. As I try to get my head out of the clouds, it follows it. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. Why aren't you going down? There we go. It's a little hiccupy, which is kind of weird. That's one thing that I've noticed. So we're going to go and do a quick hyperlapse. I'm just going to walk up and down this area here. And I don't really want it to track my face, but let's just go and do a quick walk down this way. got the selfie extender pole and it angled at, you know, a 45-degree angle, and I think it's decent as long as you keep the stick itself like straight and not turn it like this. You're gonna get a pretty good, what I'd say is a pretty good angle if you want to do like a selfie shot. This ActiveTrack I think is pretty cool. As I kind of hold it up higher in the air, it follows my face and keeps it relatively in shot, which I find reasonable. The zoom is pretty fun to be able to zoom in, you know, with the grip, be able to pull it back here. You kind of see when it hits the different lenses. It's not like super smooth. But for the most part, I mean, I've got the selfie stick out and getting real close to these really pretty dying sunflowers. As far as photo goes, again, that ActiveTrack is still kind of getting my face and making sure that I'm kind of the center of attention there. You push the button, you can get a couple of shots that are pretty good. You can see those back as I show them. I'm gonna try to line up this shot. Again, it's centering my face and it's not really getting me in that nice 2/3 situation. The 2/3 of the camera. It's still really wobbly trying to focus on the plant here. It's not 100%. As I zoom out, obviously the plant itself is going to be focused. It's going to be stabilized. Here is some more panning. Very smooth, very nice. Let's do the pano. We're gonna flip it and we're gonna create a panorama. There we go, it's unbalanced. Okay, how does this work? Wow, it's doing everything for me. That's amazing. I'm just holding real still. It does like a photosphere. That's amazing. That is fantastic. Wow. I really like that. Let's switch to, instead of 3x3, maybe 240 degrees. There we go, as it does its thing. Wow. Look at that. Then we'll go one more and we'll do That's ridiculous. That's actually pretty fun. I'll admit. I actually really enjoyed that. Let's do it like this. That's pretty fun. I like that a lot. I'll admit, honestly, I really like that. Okay, we got slow motion. Let's see if there's any bugs here that I can video.
Sheesh.
Let's see how that looks. That was like a big crop in. Wait, what? This is what the selfie camera completely extended looks like. It does give you about 2 or 3 feet. I think it's pretty good. It also connects to the Apple iPhone like native app, which I think is pretty nice, which is going to give you a better quality obviously because it's not third party. Nonetheless, I'm still kind of bent on what my decision is about this.
All right, my Pugnios, we're on location here. Let's show you the selfie stick in action here. This is what the stabilization looks like when you have the selfie camera out. We are using the selfie stick here on obviously the portrait mode. You can see that the iPhone portrait mode is fantastic. And we're kind of just walking around. I really like how the selfie stick is wide enough to give you kind of that distance between you and the camera. So it looks like someone is actually videoing you, but as I'm moving away, the ActiveTrack is having a hard time following my face. Okay, it caught back onto my face, and now it should be following along with me as I move back and forth. You can see that it's slightly adjusting as I get closer and get off the thing. It's starting to, you know, move and follow along with me. I think that ActiveTrack is pretty cool. Okay. So I use gesture control to start the phone, but it looks like it's following me. I placed it on my deck, and now as I walk around my backyard, it tracks me. That's pretty good. I like that. The problem is that I can already tell that it's angled wrong. It's keeping me in the dead center of the phone. As I move all the way around my yard, it does have a little bit of a limitation, but it picks back up where it sees me right here. Hey, I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show this here, but I'm going to try to get it on the other camera over here. But as you can see, it's got this ActiveTrack going on my face, and as I move, it should follow along. But it like snaps into place and doesn't like gradually go up. One of the most frustrating things here is the angle that the phone is right here. This is like the normal position, and it's square centered on, and I need to be able to like adjust it so it angles down, but it won't. The phone won't angle down so it gets the shot that I want. If I'm just gonna be walking down the street and I'm gonna be talking on my phone, it'll ActiveTrack it, you know? And it'll follow along for a good bit, but then once it like hits the end of the servo or like the joint, then it loses me. See that? I want it to be able to follow along seamlessly, but the limitation of the actual joint is causing it the most harm, and that's where I think that's where I think the biggest issue is for this device. I don't want it square like this. I want my chest, so I want the camera to tilt more like that. But I'm pushing up on the joystick to have it turn, but I've reached the limit of the head joint turning. That axis won't turn anymore. I have to tilt the thing to the side, and then it will. I don't know why it won't. Stabilization is pretty good though. I'm jogging pretty straight, and the shaking is much more of my arm rather than the device. But as it actively tracks my head, it wants to put my head in the center, and it doesn't want to give me a good shot, so it shows my torso. That's what's frustrating about this. Okay, I've had a chance to go over this quite a bit, and I'm very frustrated with this. And the main reason is that when you're using the thumbstick to change, you know, the pan or the tilt, when I'm trying to tilt it, I only get to horizontal. It won't go up any higher unless I change the angle of my wrist. But then that exposes the camera to the elbow, and then it kind of breaks. It's got this point where it breaks. The servo will stop trying to stabilize. And it's frustrating. It just gets to this hard stop, and it's not even horizontal fully. Where I'm on the ultra wide camera, and I really wanted to get this device so it could stabilize my ultra wide, because the ultra wide doesn't have the onboard optical image stabilization. But I'm not getting a horizontal hold here. It's really frustrating. I'm gonna try to like pull it in and pull it back. And it gives a nice stabilization. I mean, I love the wide angle on the iPhone. It's fantastic. It really is awesome, but since there's no stabilization, I haven't been able to use it. But now I can with this device, but it's not ideal. I mean, I'm trying to have this go horizontal. You know, I'm having to stick it out like this and try to have it stabilize, but it's not. It gets to the point where it just stops. One thing nice about this is that if you have it connected, you can use the record button in the native iPhone app to be able to hit record. I mean, you can set it down and it has that whole ActiveTrack thing, which is pretty cool, like I showed you earlier, but I mean, that's the only thing that works, but most of the time it doesn't work. No amount of ergonomic hand-holding is going to fix a fundamental issue with the hardware. Some of the software features that it comes with, I think, is fun, it's interesting, but in the end, I am not satisfied with a $160 price point for this device. I just hope you guys don't rip me in the comments, because I'm trying, guys. I've spent the last 2 hours on this device and there's no rhyme or reason to it. It constantly breaks. It can't hold up a typical iPhone 12 Pro Max. It just can't. It's too heavy. I think that's what it comes down to. This isn't going to give you that extra oomph when you're trying to make movies, make vlogs, go out and take pictures around the city, because you can't even get the right angle that you want. The thumbstick won't allow it to go higher up. It's so frustrating. Well, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to let that be, guys. If you like this content and you think I'm wrong, let me know and I'll do a follow-up video. Other than that, I don't recommend this product. It is not good. It is not fun to use. And it doesn't give me that sense of comfort and security when it comes to shooting with the camera that I could just do automatically with my hands. And no matter of software or extra features built into the app can really compensate for that. And ultimately, I think it comes down to this design, where you've got a magnetized clamp that clamps onto the device. They really wanted to push this ergonomic and really small, like compact build, but I think it really set them up for a disaster, because you don't have as much of a range of motion as you would on the other devices. So with that, I'll kind of leave it as is. I'll let you guys decide based on the footage that I showed you. My name is Andy. This is Andy Vlogs. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button and like. We'll see you on the next one.